Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua is promising Raila Odinga a very interesting and appetizing offer. Rigathi Gachagua is promising to support Raila Odinga's bid in 2027.
So we are going to have a political party with the mountain people and other Kenyans to engage everybody else.
All right.
And in fact, I was looking at it the other day with a few strategies from the region. And in it, if we agree to support Kalonzo Musyoka, if we don't think we have the numbers, our first priority is that we are going to have a presidential candidate from the mountain. And we'll appeal to other Kenyans to support us. If we find it's not feasible, we'll support others. Kalonzo is an option. We looked at his numbers, our numbers and other numbers, and it's doable. Raila's is even more exciting, yeah, because Raila already has 6.8 million. We only beat him by 200,000 votes. If we agree to support him, we could. I told you it's a possibility. With the 6.8 plus our 6, I have looked at his voting pattern. He normally votes between 10 and 11 a.m. If we agree to support him, before he votes, he'll be president. That you can take to the bank.
That offer is appetizing because number one, Rigathi Gachagua has successfully managed to kick William Ruto out of the mountain. Which means as we speak now, Rigathi Gachagua has close to 4 million votes of the mountain in his pocket. In the last election, Raila Odinga failed to become the president of the Republic of Kenya by less than 200,000 votes. Which means if Raila Odinga had managed to win only 300,000 votes from the mountain, probably Raila Odinga would be the president of the Republic of Kenya today. But now Rigathi Gachagua is promising Raila Odinga that look here, in the last election, you failed with a small margin. Now, out of the people who voted for William Ruto, I now have them in my pocket. I can give them to you. That's a very promising and interesting offer. Rigathi Gachagua is also currently riding on this sympathy after his impeachment. In fact, if there's one man who understands how to play with the psychology of the voters, then that man is none other than Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua campaigned with William Ruto just a few years ago here. Right now, it's very difficult to tell people that Rigathi Gachagua actually campaigned and was William Ruto's running mate in the last election because of the sympathy. And Rigathi Gachagua is actually blessed with communications skills. Rigathi Gachagua has been able to sustain the anti-William Ruto's narrative since his impeachment. And of course, Rigathi Gachagua has also successfully managed to assume the role of the opposition. And the question is, should Raila Odinga take the offer by Rigathi Gachagua, or should he decide and work with William Ruto?
Sisi hatumwelewi Raila Odinga, na nimesema juzi nilikuwa na interview. Hatujui vile anataka. Na tunangojea atoe msimamo ndio tujue vile tutakaa na yeye. Kama ataamua kuchafua legacy yake ya miaka hii yote na kuunga Rais William Ruto mkono, hiyo ni haki yake. Na sisi hatuwezi mzuia. Lakini hiyo haina shida yoyote. Kwa sababu zile kura alikuwa nazo, ndani yake iko kura mingi sana ya Kalonzo Musyoka. Hiyo itakuwa imeondoka. Pale Kisii imeondoka. Pale kwa mlima alikuwa na kura 1.1 imeondoka. Kwa hivyo hakuna kitu kubwa sana atapelekea Rais William Ruto. Number 2, huyu Rais William Ruto amewachwa na kila mtu. Kanisa ambaye ziliunga yeye mkono zimemuondokea. Watu ya mlima tuliunga yeye mkono 3.5 million tumeondoka. Watu wako na payslip. Hao wafanyikazi wote wakiwemo nyinyi wanalalamika sana. Kila mtu ya payslip. Na payslip holders ni karibu 3.5 million wamemuondokea rais. Hii watoto wetu wa Gen Z ambaye watachukua kura karibu 9 million hawako na yeye. Hata Raila akimuunga yeye mkono tutamshinda. Mimi nataka nikwambie itakuwa ni vile Raila ataamua. Kama ataamua asimame na upande wa Kenya, atakuja tuketi tuulizane atachezea wapi. Ni wapi anaweza shika namba katika timu hii. Tuone mzee wetu ako na credentials yake, tunaweza fanya kazi na yeye akitaka. Kama atataka kuenda kumsaidia William Ruto ambaye amewachwa na kila mtu, ni haki yake, na sisi hatushughuliki. Sisi tuko na plan na nzuri, na tumesikiza Wakenya. Tunajua Wakenya wanaangalia sisi kama viongozi tuwapatie plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform that politics is a game of numbers, whether real or perceived. The truth of the matter is that if Raila Odinga were to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya today, supported by Rigathi Gachagua, supported by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa and that group, the chances of Raila Odinga becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya is actually at over 90%. But the biggest question is, should Raila Odinga agree to the offer by Rigathi Gachagua? Because Raila Odinga told Kenyans immediately he arrived back into the country that he was going to make some political statement. And we also know that immediately Raila Odinga arrived back into the country, he headed straight to Mombasa State House, where he met with William Ruto. And from that meeting, it was clear that there was some arrangements. And for those who watched my earlier today, I also offered my unsolicited advice to Raila Odinga and why he should be very careful with the deal William Ruto is offering him. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why Raila Odinga should actually be worried about the deal which Rigathi Gachagua is actually dangling. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. First of all, Rigathi Gachagua might not be controlling the mountain the way we think. As we speak, the mountain is very angry and very bitter with William Ruto. But if I were to ask you to quantify the support Rigathi Gachagua has in the mountain, can you tell me? So Raila Odinga might agree with him, join him, but realize later that that support is not there. So what Rigathi Gachagua should do first is to consolidate his support base in the mountain. How can he do this? Ask his members of parliament who support him, some MCs, to resign after the new IBC is reconstituted. He can then force a by-election in those constituencies. Then if he wins in those constituencies, he will gain the legitimacy as the Mount Kenya leader. Because right now, Rigathi Gachagua is not going to run for the presidency in 2027. What of if Ndindi Nyoro will emerge? Because currently Kenyans are very keen on young people. What will happen if Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Ndindi Nyoro, Caleb Amisi, and that young group decides to team up and fronts a candidate? Let's say they agree to front Ndindi Nyoro. Will the support from Rigathi Gachagua matter? And because of that, I'm 100% sure that Raila Odinga should be very careful, because right now, we don't even know whether Uhuru Kenyatta is still the one controlling the mountain. And even if Rigathi Gachagua was controlling the mountain, can you assure Raila Odinga that he's going to deliver? Because Uhuru Kenyatta tried, he was the president, he had the state machinery, still failed to deliver as per the expectation. And for that, I doubt if Raila Odinga should rush and take that offer. That's number one. Number two is also something which is a bit related to the first point. Mount Kenya political interest in 2027. What is Mount Kenya's interest in 2027? For those who listened to Rigathi Gachagua the other day, was it yesterday? He was very clear that the mountain has already decided that they're going to take the seat of Nairobi, which means that is Mount Kenya's political interest. So assuming Babu Owino had banked on Rigathi Gachagua for Mount Kenya support, because that's why Babu Owino even never, in my view, supported the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Now Rigathi Gachagua is telling Babu Owino that Nairobi is Mount Kenya. That is their interest. What about at the national level? In my view, Mount Kenya is actually strategizing for 2032. And that plan is beginning now. If you were to ask anybody from the mountain between Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, Moses Kuria, who else? Irungu Kang'ata. Who would they choose among those four as their preferred presidential candidate in 2032? I doubt if Rigathi Gachagua will top that list. But I'm 100% sure that probably Moses Kuria will be in that list and Ndindi Nyoro. Which means as far as Mount Kenya is also concerned, they're not going to offer a presidential candidate in 2027. But in 2032, they'll have a plan. So which means if Rigathi Gachagua were to support Raila and then say Ndindi Nyoro or even Moses Kuria decides that for them, they're going with Kalonzo, the mountain will be there and they'll be figuring out between Raila and Kalonzo, who do we pick? And let's say Uhuru Kenyatta also decides to front Fred Matiang'i. It would mean that the support from the mountain will not even be guaranteed for Raila Odinga. And because of Mount Kenya's political interest beyond 2027, Raila Odinga should not just walk into that trap by Rigathi Gachagua. Number 3, there is also some historical factors which should be considered. I know something Uhuru Kenyatta tried to do in the last election. Uhuru Kenyatta knew so well that the Kenyatta family at one point in the future were going to produce a presidential candidate. Uhuru Kenyatta himself struggled to deal with the betrayal of Kenyatta on Jaramogi. So Uhuru Kenyatta decided that for me to break this historical betrayal, let me support Raila Odinga, which he did. He really supported Raila Odinga. Because if the Kikuyu nation had supported fully Raila Odinga the way Uhuru Kenyatta had wanted, I can assure you that that historical betrayal would have been broken. It didn't succeed. Just around independence, 92, there's also the feeling that Kibaki betrayed Raila, all the mountain betrayed Raila, after Raila campaigned for Kibaki on a wheelchair. So those historical factors, as much as we might not want to listen to them, they are there. Rigathi might decide to support Raila the way Uhuru did. There are people in the mountain who would vote for Raila Odinga. But there are those who will still follow those historical factors. So unless those historical factors are broken and Raila Odinga is so sure, because you look at William Ruto currently, what is he trying to do? William Ruto is trying to invoke that Luo-Kikuyu rivalry so that the Luos and the Kikuyus cannot work together. So those historical factors are there. Number 4, if you ask me, is ideological factors. I don't know, and I'm yet to see where Raila Odinga's ideology and those of Rigathi Gachagua's are converging. They are not converging anywhere. Rigathi afuma dio, Raila afuma diteni. In the last election, Raila was this side, Rigathi was this side. Of course, politics is about interest, but those ideological differences will play a very big role. Sometimes they might not reconcile. And lastly, what is Rigathi Gachagua's main reason for supporting Raila Odinga or for promising to support Raila Odinga? Nothing. His interest is to revenge against William Ruto. They say a day in politics is a very long time. What will happen if Rigathi Gachagua were to reconcile with William Ruto tomorrow? Where will that leave Raila Amolo Odinga? Because I've always explained on this platform on many occasions that politics has only 2 constants: the interest and the betrayal. The betrayal has already happened between Rigathi and Ruto. What if their interests converge again? Ladies and gentlemen, Raila should not accept any offer from Rigathi Gachagua. It is Rigathi Gachagua to be ready to support Raila Amolo Odinga if Raila Odinga were to declare his bid of becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya, not the other way around. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.